Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be making elderberry syrup. I wanted you guys to see how to make something in your home that you can buy in stores. I'm really big on natural health. These are simple things that you can do in your home, especially now with COVID and all of these crazy things going around. My name is Jaleesa. If this is your first time watching my channel, then welcome. Make sure if you like this video to hit the like button. You can also hit the subscribe button if this is the type of stuff you like to watch. So elderberry syrup comes from elderberries. I choose to make my own because I feel like when you buy this type of stuff in the store, a lot of it doesn't have natural ingredients. It's really like watered down version of it. Expensive too. It can be very expensive even if you do get like a very natural kind. So cheap to make your own. I'm going to be taking you guys in my kitchen to see just the minimal ingredients that you need to make it, and I'm going to walk you through it. The benefits of elderberry syrup. Elderberry syrup helps prevent viruses. Basically, they did a study and it showed that it takes the enzymes that the viruses use to break down like your healthy cells that are usually penetrated through your nose and your throat. That's how viruses usually enter our system, through our mucous membranes. And our nose and our throats are big ways that they enter. So that's what the elderberry does. It basically just weakens the virus. It weakens the enzyme that the viruses are using to break down those healthy cells. It helps prevent the cold. If you already have a cold or have some type of virus, it will help shorten the duration of the illness that you have. It's really good for inflammation. It's good for your heart. It serves as a diuretic. Let's make some elderberry syrup. It's also high in antioxidants, and antioxidants are really good for fighting off all of that yucky stuff in our bodies that cause damage to our cells. So let's go. Hi, so we're in my kitchen now and I'm gonna show you what you need. It's a little difficult to see, but I'm gonna bring it to the camera. Anyway, so elderberries. I literally just got this from the supermarket. If you have like a Whole Foods or a grocery store that has like a natural health department, or even a natural health store, you can order these probably online too. I just like to get my stuff in person, so I trust it. You're gonna need elderberries, ground clove powder. You can get it, I got mine like fresh out of a jar, but you can also like buy this in your spice section. Fresh ginger root. You can find this in a natural health store. In every grocery store they have ginger root. You're gonna need raw honey. For me personally, I always like to make sure it's raw, not just regular. It has to say raw honey. That way it's not like super processed and you're getting all the good stuff in your honey. I like to get my honey from places that I know are doing it ethically. I try to do that basically where it's not harming or affecting the bee population, because we really do need our pollinators. They're very important to our ecosystem. You're going to need water as well, so I have a pot here with water already in it. I would recommend using like water that was already boiled, or spring water. I wouldn't just use like regular tap water that was not boiled. Like, make sure your water source is pure and already kind of semi-clean or filtered in some way, shape, or form. So you're going to need 3.5 cups, and I'm gonna leave all of this down below. The description of this video, you'll be able to see the ingredients, and I'll put a link to actually the one that I used for the one that I used, because I didn't make this up. I got this from someone else's site. So anyway, you're gonna need 3.5 cups of water, 2/3 cups of dried elderberries. You need 2 tablespoons of grated ginger. So if you can see here, I already grated my ginger. So you're gonna have to make sure you peel off this brown part first, of course, and then you're going to take a grater and just grate. I'll just show you, my grater's dirty. I just used it. I used the one with like the big holes. It's impossible if you use smaller holes to get it out. So the big grate part will work. You're gonna peel all of this and then you'll just grate it and measure out 2 tablespoons. A teaspoon of cinnamon and a teaspoon of ground cloves and a cup of raw honey. I like to use this brand. I use other brands too of cinnamon. Organic. I usually buy my spices organic. I'm a big organic person when it comes to certain products. So, especially cinnamon, because you can look this up on your own, but they have found wood chips in some of the cinnamon that was being manufactured, because some of these companies want to make more money. So what they do is they add filler, and a lot of that filler is what is not good for us. They do it to basically stretch the product, and as a result we're getting a lower quality of the product, and it is actually harming our health. So for the purpose of this is to make you healthy, I would say just make sure all of the things that you're getting, that you trust the source. So that's all. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your elderberries. I already measured mine. You're gonna pour them into the water. Take your ginger and your other spices, which is the clove powder as well as the cinnamon. And you're gonna pour all of that into your pot. Gonna give it a good stir. Putting a teaspoon. I broke my my teaspoon. I only have half a teaspoon on this measuring one. I broke it. They're so cute. They're little owls. But anyway, so it's taking me longer. The honey you're not gonna use till later, so make sure you do not put the honey in right now. What you're basically gonna do is you're gonna bring this all to a boil. You're gonna stir it. Once you get it all in there, you're gonna bring it all to a boil. Then you're gonna simmer it for about 45 minutes to an hour. I'm gonna warn you, I don't know what kind of stovetop you have, but I have gas and it's my favorite. Things do tend to get heated pretty quickly. What I have experienced in the past is that it might boil down too quickly and then you're left with like nothing. And I literally one time had to make it all over again because it literally like, it boiled down to nothing. And I had it simmering the whole time. Just be mindful, like keep checking it. Like you might have to add more water, a little bit more water. I would say just, if that's the case where you're noticing, it is going to reduce. It should reduce by half by the time it's done cooking. This should make about 16 ounces. In a store, you're not normally going to get 16 ounces. You'll probably get like half of that. It's going to be like $15 or something around that, if you're getting something of a decent quality. So you're gonna get way more. I like to store mine in a mason jar. Bring this to a boil. Sometimes what I do, like if you have a gas stove, instead of putting it on super high, you can maybe put it on medium high, so that way the boiling temperature when you go to simmer it doesn't get too crazy. Because that's the trick that I learned. That's the trick that I learned, so that way it doesn't boil all the way out and you're left with nothing after you did all this work, and that's a lot of stress. And I don't have any more elderberries, so I have to get this right. So I'll be back in a moment and we'll see what happens. Alright, so if you can see here, I know it looks kind of crazy and gross. I literally just let this over boil, so you have to really watch this. Be careful, because don't be like me. It literally will come up quick. Also be mindful, this dyes your clothing, so don't wear anything that you might not want to get messy, or just be very neat with it, or wear an apron or something. This is, I feel like this boil is a comfortable boil. You can see like the color on the side because I literally let it over boil and it rose up. So there we go, a boil. It was already trying. So then there we go. Cover your pot, voila. Then you're just gonna let it do its thing. Okay, so I'm back and I am finished with the boiling. I did it for 45 minutes. I took it off the stove and I just let it cool. After you let it cool, you just want to take like a spoon, like a flat spoon. I used a wooden spoon. You just want to mash the elderberries like up against the side of the pot. Just like squish them, kind of like you're making wine or something. You just want to like squeeze, like you see, you just take a spoon and you just basically just keep sliding it and pressing it to the side of the pot until you like pretty much smushed a lot of it. And what you're going to do is you're going to take a strainer. I don't know if this is a good idea. Hopefully I have good precision, because if not, this is going to spill everywhere. But I have faith. And my pot actually has like these little things that help guide it. Watch me potentially make a mess. Okay, so you can see. So I'm just pouring it slowly. This is only 12 ounces. It may not end up making the full amount. We'll see. I don't think I quite got the full amount that I wanted. So what I'm going to do is, it's in the strainer. I'm literally just squishing it to get more juice out against the strainer, because it seems like there's a lot of juice in the berries that was left over. So like I said, you can squish it in the pot, but you could also get a bowl. You don't have to do a small thing. You can transfer into the mason jar last. You could just get a bowl and get the bowl and just do it in like a bigger bowl. It actually worked out. Okay, so I'm just gonna empty that, and then I'm gonna see if I can get anything else out of this. I'm at a point where I don't have a lot of liquid. It's literally just elderberries in here, so I'm just pouring it out. Actually, it is gonna make it's gonna make a whole amount. I gotta add the honey. There's still a cup of honey you have to add. So what I'm doing, besides being crazy, is I'm just scooping now the elderberries into the strainer, this tiny strainer I have, and I'm just squishing it, like getting all the juices out of the berry that I can. It's actually pulling out a lot. I actually don't know if I'm gonna have enough space in this jar now that I'm squishing all of the elderberry. Definitely do this in the strainer as well. I mean, you could do it on the side of the pot, but once you do the strainer, you're gonna get a lot of juice just by squishing it. Okay, so as you can see here, look at this. It's very dark. This is probably 12 ounces exactly. So I did not get 16 ounces, but this is still a lot. Like, it takes me a long time to use this. You're gonna take half a tablespoon to a tablespoon a day. If you are sick, have a flu or something, then you would take half a tablespoon to a whole tablespoon every 2 to 3 hours until you're all better. Alright, so I don't have enough space in my mason jar. I'm gonna have to mix this into 2 batches, which is great. So that means I'm probably gonna get close to 16 ounces. So I put it in a glass bowl. I love glass. I try to use all glass, not plastic. Definitely store this in glass. Don't store it in plastic. Please don't do that. Just store it in a glass jar. If you do store it in plastic, because I don't want to be judgmental, then just try to do BPA free at least, because you don't want to counteract what you're doing here. You also want to put the honey in when it's cool, not when it's like hot. Like lukewarm is good. You don't need it to be piping hot to put the honey in. So my honey is all gone. It was very thick. If you use raw honey, it doesn't have to be unfiltered. It could be just raw honey and still be like liquidy. I use the raw unfiltered. So as you can see, like I'm having to scrape it. Like the honey was just, it's thick. It's like paste. So after I put it in here, I'm going to stir it. I'm hoping that it dissolves. I'm just stirring it to get it all mixed. Should have used a bigger bowl. Obviously bigger is where I should have went, but I'm over here being moderate with my size of bowls. Okay, so just stirring it. You can kind of see the honey is still gloopy and gloppy. Some of it's starting to go away. You see? It's starting to get more like liquid. Without the honey, it would probably be just very like liquid, like you're just drinking like a juice or something. It still might not be as thick as a syrup, but it is going to get pretty thick. And that's why I like using honey, the unfiltered, like the thick honey too, because I feel like it helps with the viscosity of the product. Alright, I think I pretty much got it all. Like I don't feel like... And then you're going to store this in the fridge, so that definitely makes everything thick when you store something in the fridge. It shouldn't be thick to the point though where, you know, you are licking paste. That means you did something wrong and maybe you put too much of like honey or something in there. So just follow the instructions and you'll be okay. Alright, so I did all the stirring, mixed it all together in a bowl because it wasn't going to work in the mason jar, and now I have a lot. The honey made it 16 ounces, guys. Look. Literally. Yay. Okay. So now I'm going to try to pour this nicely. Pour it over a bowl. Share some of the elderberry syrup. So I ended up 2 mason jars. So that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. We made elderberry together. Well, I made it, but you're going to make it too. Obviously, you watched this because you were interested. So, bam! We got our elderberry syrup. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to hit the like or subscribe button for more of my content. Take care.